Alright guys, so today we're going to take a look at SoundPEATS' brand new earbud, which technically doesn't come out until February, that's called the Capsule 3 Pro. Now, the way I want to approach this video is a little bit different than when I look at a new product. SoundPEATS has come out with this huge lineup of high-res audio certified earbuds that all have LDAC support. So I figured with this video, we would kind of just do a comparison of all of them, especially with the Capsule 3 Pro coming out. And then the Opera 03 and the 05 that we just looked at, and it still doesn't come out for another month or two. So I figured now would be a good time to just look at them all. And so let's go ahead and start with the pricing. Now this is all retail price. I'm not going to go into on sale or early bird price or anything like that. Because those prices are fluctuating. It's kind of hard to gauge that right now, but I'll have links to everything in the description. The Capsule 3 Pro comes in at $69. The Opera 03 comes in retailing at $79. The 05 comes in at $99, the Mini Pro HS comes in at $59, and then the Air 3 Deluxe HS comes in at $49. So you see that the price ranges from $49 all the way up to $99, but all of these are under $100. So to get high-res audio wireless certified earbuds under $100 is already off to a good start. Now, as far as the type of earbuds these are and the design overall, we'll start with the Air 3 Deluxe HS because it is a stem style earbud that is an open ear design. So it's like the original AirPods. There's no ear tips. It's made to just kind of sit in your ear and you're able to still kind of hear your surroundings. Now the Mini Pro HS is an earbud style with the ear tips. Same thing with the Opera 03 and the 05. Those are also earbud style. They are slightly bigger as far as the actual design that kind of comes out of your ears a little bit. And that is by design because they have a lot more going on inside of them. And then the Capsule 3 Pro goes back to being a stem style earbud, but it actually uses ear tips. Now, as far as the different drivers they're using, I really feel like the Capsule 3 Pro and the Opera 03 and 05 are using the same 12mm drivers. Now, it says 12mm drivers for both of these, but because of the way the Capsule 3 Pros handle bass, I just tend to think it's using that same driver. But the difference is the 03 adds a single balanced armature driver. The 05 is adding dual balanced armature drivers on top of that 12mm driver. Now, the Mini Pro HS is using a 10mm driver, but the Air 3 Deluxe HS, and now this is because of the design that it is in that open ear design, it has to use a larger driver because this is the only earbud that's having to also compete with your surroundings. So it is using a 14.2mm driver. Now, Bluetooth version, the Capsule 3 Pro, the Opera 03, and the Opera 05 all have Bluetooth 5.3, where the Mini Pro HS and the Air 3 Deluxe HS are both using Bluetooth 5.2. Now, as far as noise canceling, all of these are using active noise canceling except the Air 3 Deluxe HS. And again, that's because the design of having an open ear design earbud doesn't really allow these to cancel out the noise around you. And I will say that the noise canceling that's on the Capsule 3 Pro, the Opera 03, 05, and the Mini Pro HS seems to be the same level of noise canceling, which means it's not going to compete with the Sony or Bose. But I still was surprised at under $100 how well these blocked out not only engine noises and AC units and things like that, but it starts to kind of even step into blocking out people talking, which a lot of budget noise canceling earbuds don't do. Now, all of these do work with SoundPEATS app, which I've said this before, and I'm still going to stick to this. That's just really not anything to get too excited about. It does allow you to keep all of these earbuds updated, which is a huge plus. It does allow you different EQ options. And in fact, on all of these except the Operas, it also allows you to switch these into gaming mode, which is going to cut down latency and lag. But honestly, throughout all of these, I didn't have any kind of lag with movies or videos. And I only had like a slight lag with gaming. But it is nice that you can switch earbuds into gaming mode to just cut down latency that much more. And really, like I said, all of these have this except the Opera 03 and the Opera 05. But because those are using Bluetooth 5.3, there's not really any noticeable latency anyway. Now, as far as using any of these outdoors, they all have the same IP rating. They're all rated at IPX4, which means none of these are waterproof. All of these are going to be okay if it starts to rain or if you sweat heavily or if they get splashed or anything like that. Just keep in mind you cannot drop these into water. And really, that's kind of surprising. With the Air 3 Deluxe HS not having active noise canceling, I would have thought that the IP rating would have been a little bit higher than the rest of these, but sadly it's just IPX4 like all of the others. Now, as far as what all you're getting in the box and charging and things like that, again, it's kind of simple across the board. The Air 3 Deluxe HS, because of its design, does not come with ear tips, but all of the rest of the earbuds all come with 3 sets of silicone ear tips, and they all come with a tiny USB-C cable. And all of these, you're going to have to use the USB-C cable because none of these have Qi wireless charging. Now, this is definitely a feature that I hope that SoundPEATS starts to add. I would gladly pay a little bit more on each of these earbuds if they had wireless charging. I still feel like just based off the sound alone, they're worth more than what they're already charging. But I think Qi wireless charging is a feature a lot of people look forward to. But speaking of the charging, battery life, and again, it's kind of all over the place depending on how you use each earbud. I'm just going to say the battery life, that's the max, which basically means with the noise canceling off, with the LDAC off, this is the max battery life you can get on each earbud. Now, the Capsule 3 Pro, you're going to get 8 hours on the earbuds and about 52 hours using the case. The Opera O3 and the O5, you can get 9 hours on the earbuds and 33 hours using the case, where the Mini Pro HS is going to give you 8 hours on the earbuds and about 28 hours using the case. But the Air 3 Deluxe HS is on the lower side. It is only giving you 5 hours on the earbuds and about 20 hours using the case. So the earbuds themselves, the battery life ranges from 5 hours all the way up to 9 hours. And on the case, the lowest was 20 hours and the highest came in at 52 hours, which is the Capsule 3 Pro. So kind of keep in mind, if you're going to use noise canceling on each earbud, it knocks about 2 hours off the earbuds. And same thing with LDAC. It's going to knock another 2 hours off each one. So battery life can dip depending on how you're using them. Now, as far as the case and the earbuds on all of these, they are about the same size on the case. They all use USB-C. They all have the single indicator light up front. They're very similar in that aspect. And another area that they're similar, and that I really wish that they didn't go this route, all of the earbuds use touch controls, which are fine, but none of them give you the ability to go back to the previous track. Now, this is a SoundPEATS thing. I do always say that because these work with an app, maybe they can just add this later, but for some reason, SoundPEATS does not give you this option. You can't really add that going into the app as it is right now, but this is just frustrating and something that's always the case with SoundPEATS earbuds. Now, as far as the microphones, if you're going to use these for taking phone calls, all of these are pretty similar as far as the quality goes. Some are using more mics than others. The Capsule 3 Pro and the Mini Pro HS are both using 6 microphones total, where both of the Opera earbuds and the Air 3 Deluxe HS are using 4 microphones total. And I think all of these do a very good job of picking up my voice. I think they all do a decent job of blocking out my surroundings because they all do use environmental noise canceling to try to focus more on your voice. But I'm not going to add the mic test here to each one of these because it'll just drag it out that much more. I will add the mic test to the Capsule 3 Pro because it is the newest one that I have not done a video on. But if you do want to check out the mic test on all of the others, I will link all of the original videos in the description.
All right, guys. So here is a mic test using the Capsule 3 Pro. And overall, I think it does a really good job picking up my voice very cleanly. It only has a slight digital noise to it, and it only adds a little bit of warmth. But this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test for the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
But now let's talk about the sound. Now, this is definitely what makes all of these earbuds stand out. I personally use them each in LDAC mode. I like to get the most out of my sound quality. That is usually my focus over any kind of feature, and that is what makes each one of these earbuds worth it. Now, I do want to say that the Capsule 3 Pro, I do feel like is using that same 12mm driver as the Opera O3 and the O5, but the difference is the O3 adds a single balanced armature driver, where the 05 is adding dual balanced armature drivers on top of that 12mm driver. So the Capsule 3 Pro, although it has that really nice strong bass, it seems to be a little bit tighter and not as heavy as the Operas, because I feel like with the Operas, having those balanced armature drivers is allowing them to separate the mids and the highs and just get more out of that 12mm driver. Now that's, again, not taking away from the fact that the Capsule 3 Pro still has excellent clarity. The mids, the vocals just sound excellent. Instruments stand out amongst, any genre that you're listening to. And the treble does have a nice bright sound to it. Now, this isn't as bright as the Opera series. The Operas can get quite bright. In fact, they can get harsh if you're listening to them at loud volumes. But, that's just kind of what you want to keep in mind. I would kind of put it that the Capsule 3 Pro is an entry earbud to the Opera series. I feel like if you just like a dynamic sound overall, but you don't like to have too much bass or too much treble, that is where I would put the Capsule 3 Pro. But where I would put the Opera series, the 03 is giving you a huge amount of bass, same thing as the 05, but the Opera 03 is starting to bring out more clarity than what the Capsule 3 Pro has. And the Opera 05 takes it a step further and just pushes treble up as much as it can go. So you're just getting the most out of everything with the 05s. You're getting a slightly tamed down version with the 03s. And the Mini Pro HS, with its single 10mm dynamic driver, is just trying to give you a very bass heavy, fun sound, but still being able to hear a lot of your details. It is more bass heavy than the Capsule 3 Pro. It is not as bass heavy as the Opera 03 and the 05, but it's not as bright sounding as any of those other earbuds either. And the reason that I left the Air 3 Deluxe HS for last is, to me, it just has a completely different sound, again, because of its design. Yes, it does sound more open than the other earbuds. It does not have as much bass presence, although it has a lot of bass presence for its design. It is a more bass-heavy earbud than the original AirPods. I do feel like there's a lot more clarity and a lot more details than the original AirPods, but because of its design, you're not getting the most out of your lows, mids, and highs compared to all of these others. But if I was to compare the Air 3 Deluxe HS to all other stem-style earbuds, you are getting a lot out of each frequency, and that's what makes this pair stand out. But again, I feel like this pair is definitely, unique compared to the other ones on the list. I feel like, if you cannot deal with ear tips, obviously you would go with the Air 3 Deluxe HS. But if you are somebody like me that just prefers a pair that's using ear tips, your decision becomes a lot harder because all of these other ones are so very close, but yet different in certain aspects. Me personally, I put the Opera 05 at the top of the list. It has just been my favorite earbud to use. I put the Opera 03 right underneath that. And then I would go with the Capsule 3 Pro and then the Mini Pro HS and then the Air 3 Deluxe HS at the bottom. But I think all of these are excellent choices. I do like the track that SoundPEATS is on. I think they're setting themselves up to compete with all of the larger names. If you're not wanting to spend a lot of money, these are great options from an audio aspect. Now, I do feel like they need Qi wireless charging to really compete with the larger names. I don't know why they don't have previous track. This is something that I'm going to bitch about every time regardless. But this is something that I wish that they would add. I don't have any kind of fast charge specs on any of these. So I don't know that any of these have fast charging, which is a feature that I also like to have. And I think that they need to continue to just upgrade the app. The app can do things that it needs to do. It can just kind of do like the bare minimum, but it just seems to not give you a lot of these other features that other earbuds have. And again, just the fact that they have one and being able to get this in this price range, I'm not complaining. I just think that they need to continuously try to improve it. So guys, that's my video on the new Capsule 3 Pro, but really a comparison to all of the high-res wireless audio certified SoundPEATS earbuds that are out there right now. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.